Hello and welcome to the presentation on the reciprocal system of theory by Dewey B. Larson, a universe of motion. Now we will be checking out the concept of quantization. I am Gopi Krishna and I will be guiding you through this presentation. Please begin. Quantization. Let us have a look at the origin in its postulates. From postulate number 1, we have the phrase in discrete units. Now, why did we introduce the concept of discreteness, and what exactly do we mean when we say discrete or quantized? Why, oh why? Throughout the development of science, quantization is seen in various levels: light, charge, atomic mass, galactic redshifts, atomic spectra, spin, the melting and boiling points, the Planck's constant, the superconducting temperature and the Curie temperature, the plasma transition temperatures. All of these indicate certain boundaries or limits, or in other words, discretized nature of the physical quantities. And another interesting fact is, quantities which were originally believed to be continuous were later found to be discrete. One of the very famous example is light, which was thought to be continuous and was later called the particle photon. Similarly, electric current is discretized as electron, and matter was discretized as atom. And another point is, in the realm of the very large and the very small, our assumptions fail. For example, the general theory of relativity is not compatible with quantum mechanics. General theory of relativity is relevant only when we have quantities of very large magnitude. For example, when we are dealing with heavenly bodies, whereas quantum mechanics deals with atoms and molecules. This suggests the idea that there could be natural boundaries in the physical universe, and hence all physical quantities are postulated to exist only in discrete units. The meaning of it all. What it means to say that motion is quantized. It means that 1 unit of space or 1 unit of time is the smallest quantity taking part in a physical action, or it is the smallest quantity possible when dealing with the motion in a universe of motion. And what it means is motion can vary continuously but changes only at the end of a unit. More important is what it does not mean. Less than 1 unit of space or time cannot be identified is a wrong idea. Less than 1 unit of space or time definitely exists in the universe of motion. Motion occurs in a series of jumps is another wrong idea. Motion occurs continuously. Let us have a look at the example in the form of a chain. We can see that the links in the chain form units of motion, and motion can change only at the end of a link. More importantly, it is clear that less than 1 link can easily be identified in the same way as less than 1 unit of space or time can be identified. However, the smallest quantity taking part in a physical action is 1 unit. So, motion exists in units but can vary continuously. Since space and time are aspects of motion, they are also quantized. The minimum motion possible is hence unity. 1 unit of motion is equal to 1 unit of space divided by 1 unit of time. This brings us to the reference system used in the reciprocal system. So first let us examine the idea of a natural datum of measurement before we can speak about reference systems. What is a natural datum? We are accustomed to a certain natural datum, the 0 point. This signifies a spatial extent of 0 while leaving the time indefinite. Hence, distance is measured from the origin, a 0 point in other words, and time is measured from any convenient instant. This is our natural datum, our reference for measuring any quantity. So, the old natural datum is the 0 point of spatial coordinates, where this is represented by the origin. But remember, in the reciprocal system, another reference system is also the 0 point of temporal coordinates. Why not this? So in this case, clock space is indefinite while coordinate time is 0. And clearly, the two systems are mutually exclusive. So, let us take a new natural datum, because we have these two choices. Either we have 0 space per indefinite time or indefinite space per 0 time as the two possible natural datum. But we can take up something much more natural, that is unit space per unit time. In other words, our origin is a speed and its value is unity. All motion is measured with respect to unity as being away from unity. The natural reference system. The reciprocal system of theory uses an absolute reference system called the natural reference system. It is the natural datum of the universe of motion. It is a uniform progression. It has a unit speed value. It is the same in all three dimensions. In other words, we have a reference system based on unit speed. And it is a uniform progression. What do we mean by that? It means that one unit follows another. It is a continuous motion which exists in units. Hence, we have, like the links in a chain, a series of units. The motion of the chain is a continuous motion. However, the chain can bend only at its edges or at the links. This is the meaning of motion existing in units while still being continuous. So, to summarize, let us have a look at the take-home ideas. Space and time are quantized. The minimum number of units of space or the units of time in motion is 1. Hence, the natural datum of motion is unit speed, 1 unit of space by 1 unit of time. And 1 unit of motion follows another unit continuously, and the change of motion occurs only at the end of a unit. These are the implications of the quantization of motion. Thank you. And coming up next is the idea of reciprocity between space and time.